Um, so it's been a little kind of hard, especially at first. So I was at a training camp in Florida when it all kind of started to go crazy, and we had to be like flown home early, and nobody really knew what was going on. We kind of just thought it was like 2 weeks off of high school. Everyone was like, okay, like that's fine. And then it turned out I was stuck at home trying to do workouts on my third floor all on my own for like several months, and like mentally that was super hard. um just to like motivate yourself when you, because I'm used to having like a great big training group, to all like push ourselves forward, but just motivating yourself all on your own could be quite difficult. But then it got a bit better in the fall of 2020 and winter of 2020. I was lucky enough to go to BC to a training camp there, and so that was definitely different than normally in the fall and winter we would be going to Florida for training camps. But we got to go to BC this year, which was actually kind of a blessing in disguise. It's so beautiful there with the mountains and everything, and that was actually a positive thing that came out of the pandemic. Yeah, they're pretty. It like now it's I'd say it's pretty open. I'm in Nova Scotia right now, and they've done pretty well throughout the pandemic, but there's still masks mandated everywhere, and a lot of time you need to like show a double vaccination like proof to get into restaurants and stuff. But all of my university classes are in person, so it's definitely better than it was like last year. So, it's actually kind of funny. So, I had a like a rowing erg, but I didn't have a canoe erg. So, like a rowing erg is just one handle that you pull back, and a canoe erg is on one side, and you can hold the top. So, I actually like kind of remodeled this old rowing erg to be a canoe erg by attaching like a shovel um, to the like string, and then um, like putting a little like padding for my knees so that I could kneel on the rowing erg. Um, and like using that to like I guess like imitate being on the water. Um, yeah, and I went for a lot of runs because that's something that like you can kind of always do. I guess unless you're like in quarantine, then there was sometimes like flying back and forth. Like if I like when we first got to BC, we had to quarantine for like a week upon arrival before our second COVID test came back, and so that was like you like really couldn't leave your room. So me and my roommate and I would be doing workouts like 1 meter away from each other and in this like tiny little room, and that was definitely kind of difficult, but it worked. Yeah, so I used to be super into track and field. I did that like grade like 7, 8, 9, 10, through a club and then through my high school as well. Like I competed provincially at OFSA. You probably don't know what that is if you're from Florida, but um, and I got into paddling actually because my dad did it when he was younger. Um, and he really encouraged me. At first, I was kind of unsure because I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do the sport that my dad did. It's like an old person thing." But he kind of made me do it for a summer, and I loved it. It's just I love being out on the water outside with my friends, like yeah. And so I just kept going. Hmm. Um. I think it would be like, okay, this sounds like kind of cheesy. This is probably like what everyone says, but um, that like you can accomplish more than you think you can. Because going into it, like it took me a really long time to figure out. Um, because these boats are super tippy that we go on, and so I would tip like every day for like months on end, and I was like, I am never going to be good at this. Like it's frustrating. I was like you feel like you're not going to get the hang of it, but you do eventually get your balance, and then once you have your balance, everything just kind of like clicks together, and you're able to really just go. Hmm. I guess probably some like mental health issues. Like I've had some problems with like anxiety surrounding paddling. And so I've had to take like a bit of a break to kind of like deal with that. Um, and then like like figure out ways to work on it while still like performing at a high level. But yeah. My training schedule is, so most days I have a practice at 6 and then another one at 4 p.m., except for Wednesdays and Saturdays, the afternoons are off, and then Sundays are off. And there's like usually 2 or 3 weights sessions per week, and then 2 runs, and then the rest are like paddles. I mean, I think it really depends. I actually eat a lot of like I eat mostly vegetarian. Like I wouldn't say I'm vegetarian because I eat meat sometimes, but I'd say most of my diet is like tofu and like beans and peanut butter. And a lot of time I don't get my protein in the traditional way, I guess. And um, I was raised in a very like vegetable oriented household, I guess. So I eat a lot of veggies. Um, yeah, every once in a while I'll have like a burger and fries, but generally a lot of veggies. Um, well, I think I'd like to go to the Olympics one day. Um, that I would say that is my like dream goal. Um, maybe I think I would say Junior Worlds in 2019. So that was my first Junior Worlds, and it was just so exciting, like getting there and seeing all the other countries. And then I ended up winning a silver medal in C2 with my friend Kate. Um, and that was just really a really fun experience. So it's like it was just so exciting. It's hard, and sometimes honestly, like my sleep gets sacrificed, or I like will like miss something. Um, but a lot of time you have to. I've had to like cut out like the social part. Like obviously I still hang out with my friends and stuff, but sometimes you have to like resist the temptation to go out like every Friday or something. Um, Especially living in university residence, there's very much a culture of just like hanging out, going out all the time, like, and you really just can't do that as a student athlete. So I've had to have some like self discipline to like not always do what my friends are doing and going out all the time and stuff. Yeah, not a ton. Like usually people are like just like impressed. They're like, "Oh damn, you're jacked." But I have had a few like sometimes guys will be like, "Oh, like that's like kind of gross. Like that's weird." Um and I honestly like I just like I love being strong. Like I love being able to like be the one who can like lift things, and especially when you're stronger than guys, it's a big power move. So yeah, I don't know. I just like I don't know. I love being muscular, and I feel like if like girls, I feel like all girls should. Um, so I'd say inside the sport is Laurence. So I trained and lived with her over the winter, and then she went to the Olympics and won a silver medal, which is insane. And but honestly, that's not like the best part. She's like one of the genuinely nicest people I've ever met. Like she would never complain about like driving me to practice every morning. And like whenever you had a problem, like she would go to the furthest extent to fix it, and was really just like a genuinely great person. So I guess I aspire to like reach the same level as her in sport as well as in like general like pers I don't know what the word is, like kindness, I guess.